Today we're celebrating then Saint Peter Claver, a priest. So here Peter Claver died on September 8th, 1654. 1654. It's already over 100 years past the new evangelization, or the evangelization of the Americas, or America. So you already have Peter Claver. He was a Catalonian Jesuit, Catalan. So actually we can say Claver in Spanish, who served in the Colombian mission in Cartagena. Yeah, Carthage. This is for 38 years devoted to caring for the African slaves, baptizing over 300,000. Can you imagine? 300,000 just slaves. Called himself the slave of the slaves forever. That's his motto. The slave of the slaves forever. He is patron of Colombia and of all missions to black peoples. This memorial has been newly included in the universal calendar in the Missale Romanum Tertio, Editio Typica Tertia. Is an optional memorial but obligatory in USA. In the African American community, they take Peter Claver as their patron saint. Okay, and very seriously. So, which I'm glad and very nice. I've been with the, they have also Knights of the Saint Peter Claver. It's hard to say Claver or Claver. Catalan. So, we need his intercession. We need his intercession because there's so much of this deep-seated racism keeps cropping up. And we need someone like him to show us the way in love for all peoples, especially the ones that were so mistreated. And he had such a heart for them. He would go to the ships and then also get all the sick and out because the way they were stowed away without any humanity. Even a horse was even treated much better. A horse because they had to be brought over from Europe. They were not natives here. So the horse at least had all that much better well treated than the slaves who were just stowed away without any cleanliness, etc. So if you read more about Saint Peter, you see his great love. Yeah.
The reading in the office of readings this morning was a special one where he talks about meeting the slave ship, and there were two men that were practically dead. They were almost cold, and he and his companion had brought baskets of food, bread and fruit, and they had given it to some of the others who were just getting off the ship. But they had them in this compound, and these two men were actually stretched out in mud puddles. And so they constructed sort of a platform and put particularly the dying men on it, and they had some stacks of mud that had tiles in them. And so they took the tiles off, put it on top of the wood, and created like a fire on the tiles, and then took off their own cloaks because the dying men were naked and had nothing to cover them. They did a kind of a smoke treatment to warm them up, and you could see the relief in the men's eyes. And he said, that we do all of this. He said, we talk with our hands. We can't speak their language, but they understand the language of our caring. Yeah. And then through an interpreter, they were able to begin some catechesis. And that's why he was able to make so many converts. But it was just such a beautiful thing that we speak with our hands.
And we don't think of them as not having to learn another language. They're being taken out of Africa, being sold by their own leaders into slavery and brought And there's very few people then who reflect on all these realities that have happened. And thanks be to God because of the saints, that we can remember, reflect all those things that of our past history. So thanks be to God that we're celebrating Saint Peter Claver, who priest, religious, who just a tremendous amount of zeal for our brothers and sisters. So let us then continually ask Peter Claver to intercede for us so that all this racial hatred doesn't seep into our American culture that has been seething and coming up with the immigration issues. So we need a lot of his intercession.